Okay, so this is part of the grid layout series from several years ago, and this is part 4. So I want to introduce some new features that have been developed and added to the grid support in Nitrium over the past couple of years, actually. And in here, we're going to talk about just controlling the layout from the grid itself. So, and actually from the page itself, because you don't even have to create a grid in your page anymore to have grid-based layout. So what I have here is I have a page I'm working on. It's got 5 HTML parts in it. And I'm going to edit this page and I'm going to put it into a grid layout mode. So we used to put a grid in the page, which is still a viable alternative. But if you want to keep the structure simplified in your site, you can simply change the layout to grid. And when you're working in SitePilot, once you select the layout, if you just refresh the page, it'll actually open up and show you the grid options. Now, what we used to always do, and we still do, is we set our grid to 24 columns, and then we might set our grid layout to say each thing in our grid is going to be 12 columns each. And so this still applies, and I'm going to come and refresh, and I'll see that I've got a 2-column layout. Each thing in my grid is taking up 12 columns. But now, an enhancement's been made where I can actually control the flow of all the parts in the grid. So I can set it the default here, and I could always do things like, well, let's see, 8, 16, right? So that would cause my parts in this case to alternate in 8 columns, then 16 columns, then 8 columns, and 16 columns, and so forth and so on. But that's really not what I'm looking for. What I want is a 2-column layout on top and a 3-column layout down below. And I can always do that by nesting grids within grids and creating more complex structure. But now I can come and I can just specify exactly what I want. I know I have 5 parts, so the first one's going to take 12, the second one's going to take 12. And then that's the end of my row, right? So now I can say, well, the next one's going to take 8, 8, and 8. So I've defined exactly how I want these 5 parts to lay out in my grid. I save it. And when I refresh, I have a 2-column layout on top followed by a 3-column layout below. And don't forget, you could put any content parts here. So these could be images, videos, or anything else that you need in any one of these 5 spaces. All right, so that's it for Grid Layout Series Part 4. Simple and easy.